Buenos dias! Welcome everybody to Betting Pros. It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is BP NFL, and it's the Halloween edition, and I am your luchador in control. Coming off the top rope with me, tagging in my tag team partners, Andrew Erickson today, and of course, we can also call him Jimmy Neutron, and I assume the Tiger King, or just that guy at the Tractor Supply store that kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies. It's the Welsh. Excellent costumes today, boys. We're having a little fun here on Halloween. For the prop show, we're going to take you through week 9 in the NFL. Just to recap last week, Welsh had a tremendous week, 4-1. Talk to me, baby. How does it feel to almost be this close to perfect last week?
That which Cortland Sutton did not catch one more pass. We were one pass away. Yes. By the way, this is going real quick, this mustache. So we're going to become a different character soon. But yeah, we were one catch away from a 5-0 week. We hit one of the touchdown props, so I got to be up a little bit on that. It was there it goes. Bye-bye.
There it goes. There it is. It lasted 1 minute and 30 seconds into the show.
Now my new costume is just like an 80s wrestler doing house shows and like in little high school gyms. I'm like,
I wrestled for WWE in 1987.
You want a picture? Give me a Modelo. Like that's what I'm going to be doing here. But yeah, we were one catch away from like a perfect week, and maybe the greatest bet of all time. I think Jimmy Erickson will confirm here that my Jerry Jeudy bet was maybe the best bet we've ever put on this show because he didn't do anything. He had 0 catches. So feeling good, but my card has already been messed with this morning. Like threefold. I have had to make a change because a guy got put on the IR. One line went crazy. So outside of the costumes, this show's going to already be a little bit wild.
All right. So last week, Andrew Erickson, you were not a boy genius. You were 2-3. But the good news is you surpassed me in the touchdown calls. You're up to 10. So congratulations. That must feel like a big win for you.
Got a blast, baby. My touchdowns, I'm absolutely on fire. I think it just might as well just bet touchdowns at this point and just forget these other player props and just bet all these plus money touchdowns.
It's what I do every week. That's one of my favorite things. I wish we could log them easier. But here's the thing. This is all about. Make sure you follow us on Betting Pros app. Download the app. Follow what we're in on this week. And, of course, don't forget to use all the tools on the Betting Pros app today. And we've got all sorts of free trials going on, too, for the premium tools. And subscribe to the channel here. We like to have fun. We like to talk sports betting. So whether it's NBA, NFL, or anything in between, we have it here at Betting Pros for you. So let's kick things off here with the first pick for week 9. And of course, Mr. 49er himself, starting with Christian McCaffrey. And he's going over, folks. Let's talk about that 74.5 rushing yards and the why.
Well, I don't know if I will ever financially recover from this line movement because, boys, we're going with the rushing yards. But I got it at a much lower number. Bye-bye, mustache. Back to the wrestler. I got to tell you guys, I like this bet a lot on the rushing yards prop, but it has moved. I was able to lock it in at 68.5, which I love. That sucker has shot up, but our dear friends at Hard Rock Bet currently have the best line available out in the streets at 74.5, and we're still going to lock it in. This is a top 10 matchup rating according to PFF for running backs. Giants rank 32 of 32 in run grade against running backs, with their defensive front ranking 30 of 32 and giving up the most yards after contact. That's beautiful. Giants are also giving up an average of over 6 yards per carry to running backs, and they just gave up 250, by the way. The projections, this is maybe why there was such a big jump. Like if you look at PFF projections, this is around 76. But I got to tell you, one of the things that jumped this out to me, which was such a crazy bet, if you go and look at rush attempts are at 18.5. So the rush attempts and yards did not match up on this. So I'm not surprised this took a big shot up. I'm still fine in the like under 80 range, but the rush attempts are telling us it's kind of a Christian McCaffrey game. The matchup is phenomenal. Hopefully you can financially recover from this big line movement as long as you get it still under 75. So Christian McCaffrey, 74.5 is the official bet. But if you go on Betting Pros, you will see I have it at 68.5.
All right, Matthew Stafford and the Rams are coming off a bye, and it's kind of like they have a second bye this week because they're taking on the New Orleans Saints, and they are at home here. Not that, the Rams building is a huge home field advantage, but you've got a rookie QB making a start on the road, so it could mean that the game script goes early Rams and then coasting through the second half. So what does that mean, Andrew, for the passing attempts number for Matthew Stafford?
It means that Matthew Stafford is going to go under 33.5 passing attempts. I've been in the lab cooking up the best player props for this weekend. Basically, by the lab, I mean inside the Betting Pros prop bet cheat sheet. Because one of the bets I actually got right last week was the only 5-star bet I had on the card. So shout out to the prop bet cheat sheet. This is another 5-star bet. So I'm not overthinking it. I'm a boy genius. And the genius move is to follow the 5-star bets. So Matthew Stafford has attempted under 33.5 passes in 5 of 7 games this season. And that's despite the Los Angeles Rams ranking 3rd in pass rate over expectation. So they are a pass-first offense, and he is still going under this number more often than not. The Saints aren't a matchup that you look at and say, oh, well, the Rams are going to have to be super aggressive in this spot to beat Tyler Shuck making his first NFL start on the road. Not the case. I think they can feed the beast with Kyren Williams as much as they want. Only 2 quarterbacks the Saints have faced this season have gone over their passing attempts prop and gone over 33.5 passing attempts. New Orleans facing the 2nd highest run rate this season with teams running the ball against them on over 50% of their offensive plays. 5-star bet. Trust the process. Trust the prop bet cheat sheet.
I've been thinking about getting into Rams. I got Tigers, but I like these Rams. I'm going to get into business.
Exotic that you could possibly find there, buddy. It is funny that those mustaches, when we were Mario and Luigi on the baseball channel, they just don't stick on very long. You get one use out of it, that's it.
Well, I didn't even get a use out of it. This was brand fresh new. It came with 2, so like I'm getting nothing out of it.
Well, maybe if you guys weren't putting them over actual facial hair that you already have.
Well, Andrew, fresh, just because you're such a youngin there, it's like I can grow a beard in an afternoon if I want. I'm Italian. All right, let's go to.
Dude, I've been working on this for weeks. What do you mean?
This takes me weeks.
All right, let's talk about CJ Stroud here with the next pick for the Welsh. The number is 222.5 here for him. A lot of low-scoring games for the Texans this year. So how does that potentially impact this number here when you're looking at Week 9 numbers?
Well, I mean, that absolutely can. I mean, you're talking about efficiency, and the Denver Broncos defense can be tough, but they are going to be without Patrick Surtain. And that, I got to be honest with you, one of the bets I was looking at was a plus money bet on CJ Stroud for 2 touchdowns, kind of like that Jordan Love one we had from a few weeks ago. It's at plus 140. But I locked in on the passing yards at 225 or 222.5. Broncos, they've actually given this up with Surtain 3 of the last 4 weeks. They'll be without him. Their run defense should be strong. And guess what? Texans can't run. They can't run, so they've got to pass the ball. Stroud has hit this number in 4 straight games and has a mind-boggling 88 pass attempts over the last 2 games. Nico should be good out of Proto. You're not going to be able to run the ball efficient. Broncos are probably going to be able to move the ball a decent amount. This is going to have to be a passing game from Stroud. They're coming off of a big level of confidence in what they were able to do in the air against the 49ers. Or I guess that was on the Texans. Or yeah, on the Texans side here for Stroud. So 222.5 over. Projections have him over this number. PFF likes it over 222. I believe Fantasy Pros is over 230. So we're going to go with the easy passing yard total against a Patrick Surtain-less Denver Broncos team.
Okay, Surtain-less. That's a terrible way to go about Week 9. All right, let's stay in the same game here with RJ Harvey Erickson. 5.5 rushing attempts. Where's the Undertaker going?
I'm going to the Broncos running back RJ Harvey going under 5.5 carries. So I am a perfect 1-0 betting unders on rushing attempts for Denver Broncos running backs this year. That was actually one of the bets I made last week was J.K. Dobbins going under his carries, which I still can't believe hit. Because they were running the score up against the Dallas Cowboys, and I thought that bet was dead on arrival. But it came in, trusted the prop bet cheat sheet, and I'm doing it again here with RJ Harvey. So when you look at Harvey, he only has 6 carries in 3 of his 8 games played this season, and they've all been in the same type of game scripts. Positive game scripts at home against the Titans, against the Bengals, and last week against the Dallas Cowboys. So on the road against a really fierce Houston Texans defense, very different situation where I don't think the Broncos will have the luxury to feed RJ Harvey extra carries when we know that J.K. Dobbins is really the lead back in terms of the carry workload for the Broncos offense. And even last week, it took 2 carries on the final drive for the Broncos after they already blew out the Dallas Cowboys for RJ Harvey to get over this number. So this is another one that the prop bet cheat sheet really likes. It's a 5-star bet, and I like it too. So under on RJ Harvey, 5.5 carries.
You know what else gets 5 stars? I'll tell you, it's the Hard Rock Bet app. That's what does. This is our last show before Sunday hits, and if you want to hang out with our sponsor, and I recommend you do, go download the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app today, because Week 9 is kicking off, and they got the Stats Hub too, where you can bet some of these streaks that are going on, like Dallas. that's won 14 in a row as favorites following a loss, and the Indianapolis Colts were on a roll. 12-game winning streak as favorites against the AFC. All of these are out there, and many more that you can bet on this week on the Hard Rock Bet app. So if you haven't already, download it, bet $5. If you win, you get 150 in bonus bets in that payout. Plus there's rewards, there's boosts, there's all kinds of fun things going on. So download the app today and start betting at Hard Rock Bet. All right, let's get up next for our third pick. I was going to say fourth. It's not actually our third. We have so much more show to go. I'm so excited. Plus touchdown calls, all these fun things. So WanDale Robinson. Both these guys have feelings about him. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's different. Welsh, the floor is yours first for WanDale. Where is he going? Is he going up or is he going down this week in this game against the 49ers?
It's the only thing left. He's going to be going up 49.5 receiving yards. We are going over. Last 3 weeks, WanDale has averaged 75 yards per game receiving, 7 targets per game, and 10 yards per target. I can't even try anymore with that. The 49ers secondary stinks. They rank 30th of 32 in coverage grade. Now, here's an important thing. You look at the 3 corners. The top corner, Lenore, ranks 54 out of 115, 118, whatever it is. The other 2 corners, 99 and 113. Here's another important thing. WanDale Robinson works out of the slot. So if we're going to talk about the Niners being able to lock anyone down, Lenore is going to go lock up on Slayton on the outside. WanDale is going to get horrific bad bottom 10% of the league corners inside the slot, and Dart loves him. And slot guys have also kind of killed the 49ers. So I think they're going to be able to move the ball some. The projected number's pretty tight on this. It's around anywhere from 51 to 54. It is still over the total, but I think they're going to target him often. I think he's going to be able to find soft spots in the defense because they don't have a pass rush. And Upton Stout is literally one of the worst corners in the league. And playing out of the slot, I love WanDale in this situation. So under 50 yards, yes, please. WanDale over receiving yards.
So I don't know how you want to approach WanDale, Erickson, but I can only assume the Undertaker is going to rise from the grave here again and go with an under on the receptions, 5.5.
Yes, I'm going to go under on the receptions. And this is a constant battle we always have when we talk about receivers on the show, whether you like the yardage, whether you like the receptions. And so I'm approaching it from a different angle. And I don't disagree with anything Welsh had to say about WanDale and the matchup for him. He should be efficient with the targets he gets. I'm just concerned about the sheer amount of volume that he will see because it hasn't been nearly as much volume for WanDale the last couple of weeks when Darius Slayton has been back in the lineup. You look at last week, he was quiet. He had 0 catches in the first half. He finished with 3 catches for 48 yards on just 4 targets. And his target share has taken a massive nosedive with Darius Slayton back the last 2 weeks. 29% target share without Slayton in the lineup, 19% with him in the last 2 games. He's under 5.5 catches. He's not gone over 5.5 catches any game that Jackson Dart started this year, where Darius Slayton was also active. So the target share is a little bit more flat, but it's not to say that Welsh's bet and my bet can't both hit, right? That's still in the range of outcomes. And if you actually parlay these together, because they are deemed as non-correlated picks, it's actually plus 500 that you can get if you kind of thread the needle with this type of bet. So if you think that me and Welsh are really, really sharp, I am a boy genius, and he is the Tiger King.
That's fair.
This can be a fun bet to make.
All right. And of course, whenever you're betting props, use the prop bet cheat sheet over at Betting Pros. That's the tool right there. Bettingpros.com/props is where you find it. Passing, rushing, receiving, all the stat categories are there. It takes the value and all the ranks against the projections and then shows you the best place to bet them all. So use the prop bet cheat sheet along with all the other tools there. Don't be a tool. Use the tools at BP. Next up here, Brock Bowers returning healthy. Welsh, what does that mean for his 49.5 receiving yard total this week?
We only had to bring this back one more time because we got to go. That witch, Travis Hunter, ruined my day. He ruined my day because I had a Travis.
I just traded for him 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I made a trade in a league for him. I was like, oh, look at this. I did a good job here getting Travis Hunter. Rest of season is going to be great. And then not only is he hurt, and then it's like mysterious. And next thing you know, he's on the IR for God's sakes. And I still don't even know why.
We can't give them credit. At least they didn't hide this and then just he didn't show up. But one of the very first bets that I had locked in was Travis Hunter. I had also put him in the touchdown. So I woke up this morning having to pivot. I had to move off of him. Luckily, I was able to stay in the same game once I went through it all because we are going to go from injured to returned Brock Bowers. We're going to go Brock Bowers over receiving yards at 49.5. Very close, actually, to the number of Travis Hunter. Why? Well, glad you asked. Number one tight end matchup rating, according to PFF, for any tight end is Brock Bowers on this return. The Jaguars are averaging 5.5 catches and over 60 yards receiving to tight ends so far this year. They have given this up to opposing tight ends 4 straight weeks. Through the first 4 weeks since Bowers missed some time, Bowers had a 24% first read percentage and averaged over 50 yards. 56 yards per game was his average. By the way, that first read percentage was 4th among all tight ends, so he's back. They slang the ball. They're probably going to have the ball more than the Jags. That offense is going to be blah, but he's going to get back to it. So Brock Bowers is our pivot off of Travis Hunter. So if we don't hit this one, it's Travis Hunter's fault. We will try to recover.
We will do our best. We will do our best to recover. All right, let's talk about, I can't believe there's not more of this in this show, but the Bills-Chiefs game, annually one of the biggest rated games here. Everybody's going to be involved with it. So I know I've got a little touchdown call later in the show regarding this game. But Andrew, what's your favorite bet in this big-time matchup with these AFC powerhouses?
I'm taking the over on Rashee Rice, 6.5 receptions. I actually almost had a card of all unders, but then I realized as Jimmy Neutron and I'm synonymously with rocket and rocket emojis, I couldn't just have all unders on the card. So Rashee Rice is my over for the week here, and it's because Rashee Rice is going to catch at least 5 balls in every single game that he plays this year. I'm just totally convinced the way that he is used in this Chiefs offense as that number one underneath option, he just gets peppered with targets, and that's all we've seen since he's come back from a suspension. 7+ catches in back-to-back games with the league leading 40% target rate per route run. He's being targeted on nearly half the routes that he is running this season against the Buffalo Bills in a matchup where the Chiefs actually might have to play a full 4 quarters as opposed to blowing out every other team that they've done the last 2 weeks. So you're getting Rice in a potential shootout game environment, which has not been the case the last 2 weeks against the Raiders and the Washington Commanders. I mean, he could catch 10 balls in this matchup. So I think this is just going to be a staple on my betting card every single week until Rice gives me another reason or the line moves to 9.5 receptions, because I just think that he's going to catch so many balls every single week. The Bills have allowed 7+ catches to opposing number ones over their last 3 games. And if you look back to last season when Rice was the number one receiver for the Chiefs, it was only 1 game where he failed to have at least 7 catches. So I think this one's a layup.
Yeah,
by the way, before we go to
with the vengeance, that's for sure.
Before we go to the next one, Joe, you look ridiculously like Rey Mysterio Jr. I just want to point that out. If we haven't said that, I was looking. First off, I'm dying because you have like a cross-eyed look with the mask that is killing me as I
gotta get the fake contacts, like old school, like WCW one, like. Nitro,
but we just need to acknowledge. All right, let me go down here with my mustache because I moved it onto the microphone. Joe, we just need to acknowledge you look so much like Rey Mysterio Jr. I wanna bring you and I wanna show you to people.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a big fan of Ray. I can't believe he's still out there doing it, too. I know he's been hurt the last couple of years, a little bit off and on, but the guy's 50 years old. He's still out there rocking and rolling. Gotta love that.
Do the 619 real quick, please.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be right back. No. That is a really hard move to do, by the way. People don't understand.
Do you practice that a lot at home?
All day. That's and I've hurt myself numerous times trying to do it. All right, Welsh, you've got one more selection here. Darnell Mooney coming up here. Receptions under 3.5 is where you're going to live on this one. That Patriots defense has been really good, and the quarterback play last week certainly wasn't great. Kirk Cousins was there. Michael Penix under center now this week, so hopefully things improve, but it doesn't look like you think they're going to prove enough for Darnell Mooney in terms of volume.
We're going to keep an under in here. We're going to makes me Joe Exotic crazy when I have to find unders, but sometimes they just fall into my lap and then I cage them and I show them to people illegally. And that's what I'm going to do with Darnell Mooney and his under receptions prop this week. It feels illegal to be able to do it, but I'm going to bet the under 3.5 receptions. New England, how about top 2 corners with a top 20 overall coverage grade? How about this? Mooney has had 4 receptions once this entire season. And if we get Drake London back, that's a beautiful thing. I also think the team is going to revert back to getting as much of Bijan as they possibly can. So I am going to go with one of my patented unders. It's kind of stinky. It's kind of gross. Projections have the yards over on this one, but 4 receptions seems like a tall task against this very good New England defense when Darnell Mooney just doesn't do it in general. So under 3.5 receptions for the Mooney.
All right, Monday night, we've got the Arizona Cardinals, we've got the Dallas Cowboys, and typically when we have the Cowboys, we got a lot of overs. But of course, The Undertaker doesn't care about that. He's the only guy that can find an under in a game with the Cowboys in it. So let's talk about Bam Knight on the other side of this contest for the Arizona Cardinals. You're targeting the receptions here, the 2.5. Why?
It's a 5-star bet on the Betting Pros prop bet cheat sheet, and I'm backing it because when you look at Bam Knight and what his role is with the Arizona Cardinals, he is the early down hammer. Like, that is his role for this offense. What we've seen when Emiri Demercado and Michael Carter are playing and active, they're usually the players that see more of the pass down usage, and it's not really Bam Knight. So last 3 games, Knight has never actually led the Arizona Cardinals backfield in terms of routes run out of the backfield. He's gone under 2.5 catches in both games that Emiri Demercado has played this season. So I expect Demercado after the bye week to be back and healthy in the lineup. I expect him to play on the majority of third downs. And we look at when Knight actually went over this number, which was against Green Bay, he had 2 catches on the 2-minute drill. So there's not even a guarantee that they have a 2-minute drill situation where Jacoby Brissett or Kyler Murray can dump the ball off to a guy like Knight out of the backfield. And it's just not a role that he usually has when the other running backs are healthy. So I think this one's a layup. He's going to see a lot of carries against a really bad Dallas Cowboys run defense. I don't think he's going to catch that many passes. So under 2.5 receptions as my final bet, and my final 5-star bet, courtesy of the Betting Pros prop bet cheat sheet.
All right. Touchdown time, everybody. And the touchdown score report is available right now at bettingpros.com/touchdown for the latest prop analysis on TDs. If you want to know who's going to find pay dirt, who's going to cross that goal line, well, this is the way to do it. Use the touchdown score report. It helps identify the very best in anytime touchdown bets. And I'm going to start with a 2-1 Jonathan Taylor one. You got to go to 2 touchdowns to do this, but that's kind of what Jonathan Taylor does. And I think when the Colts go on the road, they're going to once again rely quite heavily on Jonathan Taylor. And watching that Pittsburgh Steeler defense keep cashing checks and not tackling anybody, I got to say, man, I don't see how Jonathan Taylor doesn't find the end zone again twice. So I'll go 2-1 on this one. I know it's risky, but Jonathan Taylor is just continuing to just shove the ball down people's throats. And I think the Colts are just doing a hell of a job there. And I'll tell you what, they're going to win a playoff game, at least one. I'm telling you right now, someone's going to be like, well, maybe the Colts aren't that good. And they're going to be pitted against somebody else. And they're going to come out victorious. I'm telling you right now. And then the other one's just slam dunk. I know Welsh is in with this one too. And I can't afford to be wrong because now I'm trailing Andrew Erickson. So Kareem Hunt is going to get in the end zone, plus 115. I don't see a way he's not this week. Pacheco is not playing in this game. I know Brashard Smith is going to work a little bit more, but when they get down that goal line, it seems to be Kareem Hunt all the time. I think you can even look Kareem Hunt first half touchdown or maybe even 2 touchdowns. That could be one to bet, but just getting the one, it's still in plus money. Let's take it while it's still plus before it goes to minus. And Welsh, you tend to agree with me here on Kareem Hunt.
I'm let it be known, I was there first with it. I actually bet this one on Tuesday. I bet this one immediately, or maybe it was Wednesday, but I bet this days ago because I didn't want this to move, and it is still plus money, so I went with
plus
Kareem
105
Hunt.
in some other markets on BP already, I can tell you.
Yeah, so, and you can also tell, like, it's going to probably get to, like, even or minus money once Pacheco is listed as out. My second one was Travis Hunter. I definitely gave some thought to wanting to get a Bengal or a Lion, but I'm trying to move away from capturing all these cats. So I'm going to stay in that same game. And I am not going with the cat that I had originally picked in Travis Hunter and a Jaguar. I'm going with a Raider, Brock Bowers. I had the receiving yards. Jags have given up touchdowns to tight ends in 3 of the last 4 games and tied for the most targets to a tight end in the first 4 weeks of the season. So that last stat was Brock Bowers. Through the first 4 weeks, he had the most end zone targets by any tight end before he ended up getting hurt. So you've got 3 of the last 4 weeks touchdowns given up to tight ends by the Jags. And when Brock Bowers was active, he was getting the most end zone targets. So plus 165 for Brock Bowers. No kitties. No kitties.
No, I'm really excited to see a healthy Brock Bowers again because we haven't seen it all year, and hopefully it has a positive effect on Geno. God knows we could use it there. I think I already said this. My upset special is actually looking pretty good now. That was before the Travis Hunter news that broke this morning. Yesterday, Erickson will tell you it was the Las Vegas Raiders. So if you lock that in early, it might be even better right now. Andrew Erickson, since you're at the top of the board, you get to go last here on the show for your touchdown calls. So no pressure here. No pressure. I don't want you to give up your lead. Where are you going for your touchdown calls for week 9?
I mean, I don't know if I can go another 2-0 week where I just sweep the board with the touchdown. So I'm hedging a little bit by betting on 2 different Bears rookies to score touchdowns this week because chances are they're probably both not going to score. But if I bet on both of them, I think one of them at least will find the end zone because the Bengals, again, they're the worst defense that's playing on Sunday because Cowboys play on Monday. So Kyle Monangai plus 140, anytime touchdown. He has a standalone role even alongside DeAndre Swift, and Swift has been on the injury report all week. So we could see Kyle Monangai in an expanded role against a terrible Bengals run defense that continues to get truck sticked by opposing running backs. I know the Bears would like to lean on the run game if they are able to. I think they will here in this spot. And the other thing that the Bengals are terrible against, guarding tight ends. They've allowed the most touchdowns to tight ends. They're still Pittsburgh Steelers tight ends scoring against this Bengals defense. So Colston Loveland, the rookie from Michigan, a lot of the receivers for the Bears and Cole Kmet are a little bit banged up. I think Loveland is in for a breakout game here. The usage was pretty solid last week. Didn't pop in the box score. He did have a red zone target, did not score. I think this is a breakout game for him. I think he finds the end zone. Plus 300 for Colston Loveland to score against Cincinnati Bengals.
I'll tell you this. If Caleb Williams looks bad against the Cincinnati Bengals, hot take, I think they should give a shot out there to Tyson Page. Just let's see. Let's see what it is. Can't be worse. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So those are what the prop bets are and the touchdown calls for week 9. Who is finding the end zone in your opinion? Drop your comments below in the YouTube channel comments. We'd love to hear from all of you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications so you never miss a piece of content on this championship channel that is Betting Pros. I want to thank my 2 wonderful co-hosts here on the channel. Let's get that mustache back on for the Welsh. So for the Tiger King and for Jimmy Neutron, I am the Luchador, Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy week 9.
This was my one call for the day.